Alright, we are live.
Hi, how we doing this evening? Thank you for showing up. Thank you for tapping on this stream. If you see this eventually, happy January 30th, 2025, in this beautiful, great country that we live in here in the United States of America. We have a lot of fun and positive things that we're gonna go over this evening in this stream. How's your week been, Alejandro?
It's been good. Went to Joshua Tree. Just got here yesterday. It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
A little chilly. I was a little unprepared because I wasn't sure. Because last time I went, it was like really nice during summer. But now it was like when I get there, I was like, bro, this is really cold. Like I only had like a small jacket. And it was like...
Oh, you packed a light jacket and that's it?
Yeah, that's it. That's all I had, you know?
Did you go hiking?
Yeah, it was really nice. The only thing about it was like raining. So we only went hiking during like on Tuesday. Yeah, on Tuesday.
On Tuesday.
So that's literally the only sad part was like most of the times it was raining. And then we went to the downtown, like this, not downtown, but like the city, the little town area.
It's the same place we went to, right?
Yeah. We literally took us like 20 minutes to go through everything, and we're like, alright, like what else is there to do? It's mainly for the hiking, but
yeah. I mean, you walk into like 2 or 3 boutique shops, you look at like the turquoise stones, and then you're like, okay, this is cool. It's time to go back to the Airbnb.
Yeah,
like,
time to go back to the Airbnb and chill and talk. Yeah, but how was your week?
My week was very up and down. I know that last show, you mentioned something, because you're like, oh, how was your week? And I decided not to answer. But this is the Realest News Report, so I'm going to be completely transparent with the shit that I say on here, and I will tell you how my week has been if you ask me how my week has been. It's been very up and down. I made a lot of money at work, but I also relapsed on crystal meth and fucking had like 3 days on a bender. So we're taking the shades off for the episode so you can see my fucked up eyes. But no more of that shit.
You're holding yourself accountable.
I try my best to. I thought that for me, my gateway to doing shitty crystal meth is the application grinder. I just simply can't have it on my phone. I was sober from it for 5 months because I put parental controls on my phone, and my friend here, my co-host, is the one who keeps parental controls on my phone. One night, I was updating my apps because I need him to unlock my phone in order to update my applications that I have on my phone. I wasn't diligent enough to ask him to relock my phone. That night, I relapsed again. That day, I was like, fuck it, I'm mentally strong enough to not have to need the parental controls to not relapse, but that's just not true. I think it's also kind of the way that the drug wires your brain, in the sense that it makes you seek out connections which will provide that drug again. Me avoiding it is me having me keeping myself accountable is me putting the parental controls on my phone. And so very happy to put my ego aside today. I got my phone locked, and it's gonna probably stay locked until I die. Or until I need apps unlocked, but I'm never having it, not locked without anyone, never having my phone be without parental control, without another person in the room with me, let's just say. And it's very stupid, it's very embarrassing, but that's what works for me, so
I should have just taken you to Joshua Tree too.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
There was a little snow, so it was nice.
Snow I could deal with. Ice I can't deal with.
It's snowy.
That was a meth joke.
I know. I just decided to ignore it,
Yeah.
But
Well, as an Italian, you see, like, I hate ice on every front. I hate it in my water, I hate it in my lungs, and I hate it in my communities, you know, so... my number one enemy is ice.
There was we were driving through the part of the Joshua Tree where it like had ice, like snow, and then the sign said ice, and I was like, what the fuck is ice doing here? I told my girl, I was like, hey, they're gonna get right now, like chill.
The Joshua Tree? Fuck.
It's ice, bro. So like,
there's only like 2 of you out there too. Fuck, be careful. But they're gonna get your girlfriend too. She's brown. She's Filipino. They'll be like, oh, you're from like Michoacan.
She's Asian, bro. I mean, she has a better chance her than me, you know? To not get caught, but it's just crazy nowadays. Like even if you speak Spanish, it's like your ass is better to like get deported.
And we'll get into that more too. But I've spent 8 years in the restaurant industry. It's what I do. I work as a server, and anyone knows you could go to a Japanese restaurant, you could go to a Korean restaurant, you could go to an American restaurant. You're at a Mexican restaurant, or you're at a Honduran restaurant, a Guatemalan restaurant, because everyone who's working in that restaurant, whether it's the busboys, even some of the servers, the dishwashers, the line cooks, all of them are usually, Latinos, and a lot of them are undocumented. Some of them are documented, and for instance,
Where's the back of the house up?
shout out BOH.
Who makes you delicious food? Back of the house. Michoacanos.
Yeah, I should have included the video of back of the house now that Trump is president, with all the white cooks being all lazy and shit, making the worst fucking food, and then the Mexicans just making the best fucking food possible, like fucking keeping the kitchen clean and shit.
Yeah.
But and one of the scary things is that ICE will literally come through the back door of the restaurant and put people in handcuffs who don't speak good English. One of my friends who recently got hired at the place that I work at, he is a Colombian guy who is here legally, and he wasn't really concerned with the Trump thing until I explained to him that you need to keep your travel documents on you at all times, because if you don't have your documents on you, you don't speak good English, you're brown, they're gonna put you in handcuffs.
They'll deport you first and then ask questions later on.
Well, not even that. It's not about deportation. It's simply about the fact that, if he has his documents, he'll most likely get processed, and then he'll be able to continue back with his stay in the United States. However, even if you have documents, you're going to get put in the back of a fucking cop car, you're going to have all your possessions taken away from you, and you're going to be sitting in a fucking ice camp with a little aluminum foil blanket for 4 or 5 months until you get your day in court where they're like, oh, actually, you are here legally. Here, go ahead and have your freedom again, right?
It takes a couple days to process, huh?
Days?
Weeks, at least weeks. Months, maybe.
Months. And with mass deportations, the wait time is only going to get longer and longer and longer, because the more people we have to process, it might even take years. By the time they process him, he might not even be here legally no more. And then they'll be like, oh, actually, you are a criminal because we kept you in the fucking camp for so long, right? So even if you have documents, know that if you don't speak good English, or if you're brown, that they will put you in handcuffs. And there are 2 things that you need, and we'll get into it right now. Yeah. But always keep your documents on you. Always, 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 always keep your documents on you.
I have my passport on me 24/7, you know?
Yeah.
That's absolutely insane. Especially now since Trump signed didn't he sign something about letting ICE deport immigrants in Guantanamo Bay? Did you see that?
No.
Yes, he did.
Well, what? That doesn't make sense.
Dude, they don't have enough space, so he's like, okay, I'm gonna let immigrants go to Guantanamo Bay.
Oh, like he's gonna send them to Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant he's taking all the illegals that are already in Guantanamo Bay and shipping them back to Mexico. I'm like, fool, like what? That didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. But no, it's just crazy how now you have to be even more cautious.
I mean, it's sad that, you know, people who are just trying to work and support their families and are, you know, members of our communities. For instance, it's about 50 or 60% of the people who live in Santa Ana, California are undocumented. The entire, and the population is about, what, 200,000 people? The whole, half of the city can get deported. Imagine half of the houses in Santa Ana being fucking empty because we deported all the people. Half of the businesses shut down. It's fucking insane.
It's nowhere to live out of here, you know, like day to day. Like, are they gonna? Will I see my family again? Will I? Am I gonna get deported? Am I gonna lose my life? Because these immigrants have years and years of like creating a life here, and you know, just to like get that taken away from you instantly.
Yeah.
It's just, especially because majority of them are good citizens that pay their taxes. So it's just not it doesn't seem like a fair thing to do, especially if the excuse is, hey, all immigrants are criminals, that's not the case.
Yeah. Well, and we'll get into it. Very first clip, perfect segue.
Yeah, let's start it?
Yeah, let's start it. Caroline Levitt makes it very clear that anyone who doesn't have documents here is in fact a criminal.
Damn, I'm just kind of ready for that.
On visas, but, you know, hold pro-Hamas sympathies.
The president is open to deporting individuals who have broken our nation's immigration laws. So if they are here illegally, then certainly he is open to deporting.
Yeah, audio's working. Did you connect it?
You know what?
Do you hear it?
No, I don't. Do you?
No, I don't hear it either.
You know what? I accidentally slightly unplugged the jack from the computer when I was setting up. Press the setting there. I might have to just like press it manually. Then the slider to the right. Yeah. And then.
Which one is it?
Try the Realtek.
And that's what this.
Try the other ones.
Yeah.
Sorry about the technical delays. Literally, I accidentally unplugged it a tiny bit, and now I have to fucking reset it again. That's stupid.
Administration is hard at work at doing. We receive data.
No. Oh shit! Okay.
Zoom 2 might be these.
From DHS and from ICE every single day.
Again, pause. Is it the Realtek? Try the Realtek.
From what we hear on the ground, ICE agents are feeling empowered.
This is so annoying. One sec.
Connect it.
Right now because they actually have a leader in this building who is supporting them in doing their jobs that they were hired to do, which is to detain, arrest, and deport illegal criminals who have invaded our nation's borders over the past 4 years. That's what the president is committed to seeing. Peter.
Just following up on the question on immigration first. President Trump,
nice, there we go. Thank you.
2024.
All right. Start from the beginning.
Thank you for your patience with us. I just have to keep in mind that the cord is pretty short.
The president is open to deporting individuals who have broken our nation's immigration laws. So if they are here illegally, then certainly he is open to deporting them. And that's what this administration is hard at work at doing. We receive data from DHS and from ICE every single day. From what we hear on the ground, ICE agents are feeling incredibly empowered right now because they actually have a leader in this building who is supporting them in doing their jobs that they were hired to do, which is to detain, arrest, and deport illegal criminals who have invaded our nation's borders over the past 4 years. That's what the president is committed to seeing. Peter.
Very quickly, just following up on the question on immigration first. President Trump, during the course of the campaign in 2024, said the following about illegal immigration. He said, they're going back home where they belong, and we start with the criminals. There are many, many criminals. NBC News has learned that ICE arrested 1,179 undocumented immigrants on Sunday, but nearly half of them, 566 of the migrants, appear to have no prior criminal record besides entering the country illegally. Is the president still focused exclusively, which is a civil crime?
Like all these people are demons. Like I don't know how you listen to the reporter be like, 500 of the people who you decided to detain have done nothing wrong other than not have documents and just cross into your country illegally.
Yeah.
Like literal demons, like people who have no connection or empathy to other people who have never met or talked to an undocumented person, people who don't understand that these people, some people in this world aren't as lucky as you, Mrs. Caroline Levitt. Not everyone gets to be born into fucking upper class family, get to be in politics at 30 years old, suck the president's dick every fucking 5 minutes. And some people actually have to travel to fucking foreign countries just to be able to put food on the table for their fucking kids. But, you don't give a shit about that because you don't have any empathy for these people because you are a sociopath, you fucking freak.
It's not
still
criminal.
Dark.
So I'm asking, though, he said he was going to focus on those violent offenders first. So is violent offenders no longer the predicate for these people to be deported?
The president has said countless times on the campaign trail, I've been with him at the rallies, I know you've been there covering them too, Peter, that he is focused on launching the largest mass deportation operation in American history of illegal criminals. And if you are an individual, a foreign national, who illegally enters the United States of America, you are, by definition, a criminal. And so therefore, you are subject to deportation.
I apologize for interrupting. So to be clear, it's not violent criminals do not receive precedence in terms of the deportations taking place.
The president has also said two things can be true at the same time. We want to deport illegal criminals, illegal immigrants from this country, but the president has said that, of course, the illegal criminal drug dealers, the rapists, the murderers, the individuals who have committed heinous acts on the
are an excuse for you to deport anyone who doesn't have documentation. You guys do not give a fuck about deporting just criminals because we've been deporting just criminals from this country since the fucking start of this country. We have always treated crime like crime has to be treated. If you want to be stricter on crime and try and be more aggressive in your fight against cartels and stuff like that, okay, go right ahead. But to use crime as an excuse to do a genocide on a massive group of people just because they don't have documents, because you don't make it accessible for them to get documents, it's genocidal, it's psychotic, it's evil, it's evil and it's racist, and it's the politics of hate. You could go to the next one. I'm done with her.
Interior of our country and who have terrorized law-abiding Americans.
Yeah, she's saying the same thing, huh?
Yeah. Someone recently posted this, so I'll post it again just for people who don't share platforms with me and the person who posted this. But 17th Street and Superior Avenue here in Costa Mesa by Shalimar. Ten cuidado, si hueputas, manos de la migra están aquí en las calles. Trae tus documentos y todo eso, voy a postar en Instagram y todas esas plataformas para que la gente va a entender.
I mean, even if they don't have documents, just be careful, just be cautious of what setting or environment you go to. If it's known for a Hispanic community, try to avoid it. There's going to be more ICE immigration in those places rather than the white area.
And it's hard to avoid those places when it's people's workplaces and whatnot. But
if it's your workplace, it's just something where can they deport? My question would be can they deport immigrants at their work, right, at their job? Like, let's just say
Yeah.
it's a grocery store,
Yeah.
and they don't have documents, they get deported them.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's tough. It's tough, especially because it's like it's your livelihood. You know, you'll have to go there. So it's just only gonna be a matter of time where they're gonna start hitting these places up more often than anything.
Mm-hmm. And if you're a business owner, if you have a job where you know undocumented immigrants, if you share any spaces with undocumented immigrants or they work for you, give them resources to be able to hide from these people when they show up. Lock your back doors in your business. Don't let these fucking Gestapo people into your places of work.
Can you, as a business owner, can you deny the ICE immigration in your own business? Can you just say no? I don't want you to come in.
I think so, but they're also Nazis. They don't give a fuck. They'll bust down your doors if they really want to, because they'll be like, "Oh, we're fighting crime" or whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah, but
Kind of depends on the will of the officer.
What is it unconstitutionalized still? Like,
Do you think anything that's happening is constitutional?
I know, but like at one point, do we say, hey, like we should? There has to be a limit. That's why I'm just asking you. Like, is there going to be a limit to this, or is unfortunately it's going to be like by any
I mean, they said churches are fair game. Churches and elementary schools are fair game, so I don't think they have any intention of doing anything constitutionally. We elected a fascist. We are no longer a free country.
Yeah. I mean, the only way to fight this is to make outreaches like talking through social media
and support each other in our community. If you're a white person, give the Latinos the resources to be able to protect themselves. Be alert. Communicate with them. If you're a white person and you see ICE in your neighborhood, don't be afraid to tell the undocumented people who live in your neighborhood to watch out, to be careful, to go hide somewhere, because these are our neighbors. These are the people who live in our communities and whatnot. I don't want to see them get arrested for no reason when they're hardworking members of my society who pay taxes, and you know they go to the same churches, the same restaurants as me. They're in my friend groups. It's so we as a community, we need to fight against these fucking assholes. That's the biggest thing. It's us versus them. If you're white, if you're brown, if you're black, if you're Asian, if you're gay or trans, it's us versus these fucking evil politicians who want to divide us and fucking kill us at the end of the day. So stand up for people less fortunate than you, unlike Mrs. Caroline Leavitt and Donald Trump, because they think that they're better than other people just because they're born in a different zip code.
Because the conditions of these camps that the immigrants are going to be staying for months, I assume.
Pull it up.
It's not a very spacious place, you know.
They don't even have beds. They sleep on the floor. They get fed fucking like potatoes and literally like prison food. It's literally getting sent to prison. These camps are prison.
A little worse because for like they have like a fence, a posted fence. It's like 20 people in like a small little area. So
And people have died in the ICE camps too, and more people will die in the ICE camps once they get too full. And they start shoving people in there. You think they do checks on these people? You think they do wellness checks on undocumented people? Fuck no.
You think look at just the camps right now, the conditions of how bad it gets. These are all families too, you know, it's not just
Even if you have documents to be in this country legally, but you don't have them on your present person, they'll send you in this fucking camp before you get your day in court. If you die in the process, government doesn't give a fuck.
You know. I mean, it's just sad, you know, seeing families in there, and it's like their condition of living is just like even worse.
The freest country on earth. Freest country on earth, by the way.
Yeah.
For white people, for rich white people, it's the freest country on earth. For everyone else, you could just be slaves.
Right. So it's the video that one that I just.
I forgot to label it, but I think this one's more so talking about what to do. I think if they visit your, if they detain you, if ICE visits your home, U.S. immigration law.
Hi, my name's Barb Graham, and I'm an attorney at Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of Milwaukee in the Refugee and Immigration Services Program. This is a video about knowing your rights if Immigration and Customs Enforcement approaches you. All people living in the United States, including undocumented people, have certain rights under our United States Constitution. If you are undocumented, and if an Immigration and Customs Enforcement or ICE agent knocks at your door, know that you have certain rights. ICE is what we sometimes think of as being the immigration police. But please understand these rights. You do not have to open the door. You do not have to open the door or let the officers into your home unless they have a valid search warrant signed by a judge.
I paid $35.40 for this.
An ICE deportation warrant is not the same as a search warrant. If this is the only document they have, they cannot legally come inside unless you verbally agree to let them in. If the officers say they have a search warrant signed by a judge, ask them to slide it under the door or to hold it up to a window so you can see it.
Because they will lie to you to get into the house.
Yeah, they will manipulate the situation.
They'll use certain language like, we have a warrant to enter the house, while not describing to you exactly what type of warrant. And most immigrants who don't speak good English,
They're scared.
They're scared.
Yeah, they're scared, and their family's right inside, and it's like it's the fear that these ICE immigrants exploit.
And yeah, it's the fear as well as the lack of English and the lack of knowledge of our laws that, these ICE agents, they use it to their advantage to be able to deport as many people as possible. They're not interested in justice. They're interested in deporting en masse.
If the warrant does not have your correct name and address on it, and if it is not signed by a judge, you do not have to open the door or let them inside. If at any point you decide to speak with the officers, you do not need to open the door to speak with them. You can speak with them through the door or step outside and close the door. You have the right to remain silent. You do not need to speak to the immigration officers or answer any questions. If you are asked where you were born or how you entered the United States, you may refuse to answer or remain silent. If you choose to remain silent, say so out loud. You may show a Know Your Rights card to an officer that explains that you will remain silent and wish to speak to a lawyer. You may refuse to show identity documents that say what country you are from. Do not show any false documents and do not lie. You have the right to speak to a lawyer. If you are detained or taken into custody, you have the right to immediately contact a lawyer, even if you do not have a lawyer. You may tell the immigration officers that you want to speak to one. If you have a lawyer, you have the right to talk to them. If you have a signed form called a G-28, which is a form that shows you have a lawyer, give it to the officer. If you do not have a lawyer, ask an immigration officer for a list of pro bono lawyers. You also have the right to contact your consulate. The consulate may be able to assist you in locating a lawyer. You can refuse to sign any or all paperwork until you've had the opportunity to speak to a lawyer. If you choose to sign something without speaking to a lawyer, be very sure you understand exactly what document says and means before you sign it. If you want more information about your rights or to learn if you might be eligible for immigration benefits or relief, speak to a reputable, competent immigration lawyer. You can go to the American Immigration Lawyers Association to connect with a lawyer in your area.
You know what? Type in what to do if ICE enters my workplace. Forgot that should be something that we cover as well, because this is for your home, but you know, if ICE shows up at your workplace, obviously the rules are a lot different, but because I just don't know how many protections they are if your employer is just like, oh yeah, go ahead, go look and do whatever. This one.
Okay. Oh, good.
Oops.
Oh, yeah, I did read it.
This is the same lady. First video was good, so stick to
Hi,
it.
my name's Barb Graham, and I'm an attorney at Catholic Charities.
Let's get the intro.
Documented, have certain rights under the United States Constitution. If immigration officers, what we sometimes call Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE,
Is that
come to
Irvine
your
Police?
workplace,
Looks like
you
Irvine
must
PD.
have a valid search
Yeah,
warrant
Tesla.
or the consent of your employer
Oh, yeah, I
to enter
forgot, yeah.
non-public areas. If you are undocumented and immigration officers come to your workplace, be aware of the following. First, do not panic and do not run away. If you are frightened and feel like you need to leave, you can calmly walk toward the exit. If you are stopped,
But,
you may ask if you are free to leave.
I don't know if I would agree with her necessarily. I think I would run away if I was like.
Depends how fast you are.
Yeah.
Depends how far the officer is away from me, and it depends how fast you are.
I would at least hide.
Also, if you do have documents and ICE invades, fucking run. So then they'll chase you while the actual undocumented people can hide or fucking get the fuck out of here. Waste their time, fucking make their lives as miserable as
I'll take one
possible.
for the team, and I think I would run. Because like, it's just, you know, I feel like giving someone a chance to like escape
Yeah,
that situation is like, come on, dude, like.
that's sick. That's some Batman shit. Like honestly.
I'm running as fast as I can, dude.
Like the adrenaline's gonna pump in and everything. I'm just gonna like book it.
Yeah. This would
Um,
be fun too. It's like, wow, I'm running from the cops, but like you didn't do anything
Just
illegal.
let me get to my car and it's over, you know?
Yeah, it's just.
Just don't get maced. Just don't get. Just know when to stop. Know when to stop. Put your hands up. Fucking take your passport out or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, no, that's just take one for the team, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to, you know. So.
Yeah, especially for other people that hopefully they can like escape and they'll be like, oh, that's a close call. But gotta take one for the team.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
If the officer says no, do not try to exit the building. If you are questioned, you may tell them you want to.
Yeah, definitely exit the building, you know.
No means yes. Just keep going. Because
Because
like at that point they're gonna catch you.
Like if
Like so
I'm
I'm like, okay, maybe I have a chance
of
of running away,
escaping.
There's
like
a
if you're a fat immigrant and you're running against a 20-year-old cop, don't run.
no,
No,
run.
If
What if it's a group of like immigrants, you know, and like the fat one has to take one for the team. And, you know,
I'm talking about a one-on-one situation. This is gonna get too complex. Like,
but like, it's never gonna be like, especially in the workplace. It can't be one-on-one. You know, there's not just one immigrant at a workplace.
I'm thinking of my job, and it's like a really small restaurant,
Oh,
right?
I'm thinking of like
Home Depot.
Yeah, Home Depot or like something like that, where it's like a group of immigrants. Because I don't think they'll necessarily like go to places that they know it's majority of like American like citizens. Like they're gonna go hit the Home Depots, the Mexican groceries, all the known Hispanic community.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
Places where they know that undocumented people.
this is
work.
realistic. It's like who are they hitting the most? Hispanics. In California, at least, Hispanics. In different parts of the United States, I know it's like different non-American countries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to remain silent. 2, you have the right to remain silent. You do not need to speak to the immigration authorities or answer any questions. If you are asked where you were born or how you entered the United States, you may simply refuse to answer or remain silent. If you choose to remain silent, say so out loud. If they ask you to stand in a group according to your immigration status, you do not have to move, or you can move to an area that is not designated for any particular group. You may show a Know Your Rights card to an officer that explains that you will remain silent and you wish to speak to a lawyer. You may refuse to show identity documents and say what country you are from. Do not, though, show any false documents and do not lie. Third, you have the right to speak to a lawyer. If you are detained or taken into custody, you have the right to immediately.
I think this is the same way.
Yeah, once they sit your ass down, whether you're at home or at work, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
Also, if you're at work, set somewhere up to hide. Literally, fucking hide. Go into the ceiling. Go into a trash can. Like, if they're fucking there and you're cornered and you have nowhere to go and you know that they're gonna, like, just have somewhere set up. Just have somewhere where you can go that, you know.
Yeah. No, at the end of the day, if you do get caught, I think just remain calm. You know,
and don't talk to them. No tienes que hablar con ningún marrano. Habla con tu abogado y déjalos hacer todo. Porque te van a explotar.
No, 100%. Yeah. Definitely.
This evening we're enjoying an undocumented wine. We're enjoying a Argentine wine. I don't know if it has its documents to be here, but we're enjoying it nonetheless. It's a little Cabernet Franc for $20. This is actually really, really nice. So that's what we're drinking tonight. So quick little change of subject, you know, lighten the mood up.
Definitely, dude.
It's very nice.
Yeah, it's really good. Especially with all the news that's been going on.
A little light in the mood doesn't hurt.
Yeah. I mean, we like. I think that when we go from, you know, topic to topic, or you know. No, not well. That's topic to topic. But like zone to zone, like national to statewide. We'll add more intervals and more interesting stuff to talk about.
Definitely.
With time.
So we're now statewide. Is that the next topic?
Next group of things we're gonna talk about. Honestly, I didn't see that much that's going on in California. However, Gavin Newsom recently tried to pass a $50 million bill to be able to Trump-proof California, pretty much legislate certain things that would prevent Trump from being able to affect California's laws and rules. Pretty much by creating legal boundaries. Unfortunately, it got rejected by California Republicans, so thank you to California Republicans. I had someone at work who mentioned, like, oh, but, like, we didn't vote for Gavin Newsom to do all this stuff, and honestly, I agree with you. Fuck Gavin Newsom. I didn't agree for him to play around with my money like it's Monopoly money. But I also didn't vote for fucking Donald Trump, and neither did the majority of America. So we're talking about two groups of people, the Democrats and the Republicans, who no one fucking voted for, who are in charge of our money, who no one elected to be in charge of our money. So, you know, just remember that, you know, there's good things and there's bad things. But at the end of the day, we're all being manipulated by certain groups of people, and that needs to stop.
So what would these $50 million, like, do if it did get passed? What would be the purpose for that?
I didn't dive into it that deep because I saw the article on Ground. You could look it up if you want, but
yeah,
it didn't pass, so that's why I was like,
there was no point.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. What's his next video about?
I didn't have the best of weeks, so the show was a little rushed this week.
The show is staying strong though.
But I think it's been going well. My internet has been
there's more ice.
Has been nice.
ICE raids, immigration arrest. 30,000. You see Guantanamo for. I kind of want to see this. It's 2 minutes, so it's not too long.
New video shows a woman apparently detained and taken away by ICE. This happened, here it is, over the weekend. Fox 11's Matthew Seedorf, he's live downtown.
I'm sorry. Did you see the UFC fighter that went on a podcast and talked about, like, praising Hitler and whatnot?
I did not.
He was like this, like, total, like, redneck, like, hunter-gatherer dude, too.
What's his name again?
Bryce Mitchell.
Did not see that.
I haven't, because it recently came out, I haven't, like, watched the whole thing or, like, watched the recap, but, like...
He's kind of dumb for that, because, like, all he has to do is shut his mouth and not say about anything about Hitler and Nazis.
I mean, like, he's a total weirdo, and he's, like, a total autist, too. He's just, I just know he just sits at home just, like, on the internet for way too long, like...
Yeah.
Here it is, over the weekend. Fox 11's Matthew Seedorf, he's live downtown.
It's like, bro, like, you're a redneck. Like, why are you on a podcast? Like, what the fuck? Like, isn't that against your values? Do a full screen.
I tried, it doesn't load.
Outside the ICE detention building after speaking with that woman who caught it all
once
on
and
camera.
let it go.
Matthew.
Yeah, that neighbor tells us that the woman who was apprehended was brought to this ICE building here behind me. This as we start seeing more arrests like this across our area.
These people are asking her for her identification and asking her if she's from Mexico.
New video of federal agents making a possible immigration apprehension this week outside Los Angeles.
She was on her way to
click
work
it 20 times. Like,
we're trying to listen to the video. The community and me are trying to listen to the video.
At the car and take her.
Community and me is trying to watch the video as well.
ICE is in Pomona, you guys.
This taken Monday morning outside Diana Delgado's home.
And if you are, I would say, if you do have, if you are a citizen, record these motherfuckers.
Record, be loud, be annoying, get in their way, fucking distract them, fucking ask them questions as they're trying to do their raids. Just create as much time as possible.
Yeah.
Let them know that they are not welcome in your cities and your communities.
Yeah, pull their pants to be able to distract them.
Pull their pants down.
Yeah.
Pomona.
The first thing I heard was, "What part of Mexico are you from?" But very aggressively in Spanish. And I knew something was wrong, so...
See, they're so fucking racist, too. Anyone who signs up to be fucking an ICE agent is either a white supremacist or a second-generation self-hating, like, Trump-voting Mexican.
Proceeded to record.
What is she doing? Heading to work? What is she bothering you guys? Is she doing something dangerous?
A woman taken away by law enforcement. The city posting this to Facebook saying these aren't their police officers. Does your neighbor...
Even the cops are snitching on them. Even the cops are like, oh, that's not us. Like, we're not even...
They're making sure they're out of the drama of like, hey, this... If they want to deport people, I feel like there's a way to do it. This is not the way. Of like, getting them out of their fucking cars. Come on, dude. It's sad.
And like, wow, you made the streets safer by deporting this 50-year-old Mexican woman in Pomona. Definitely the ringleader of the fucking Venezuelan migrant caravan cartel in fucking Pomona.
She's someone's mom.
Yeah, auntie, mom, friend.
I was able to speak to the daughter. You know, she did confirm, you know, her mom has no criminal background. The family confirmed they were looking for someone else. And then after that, they proceeded to ask her what part of Mexico she was from.
We need more deportations, a lot more deportations, and that's what we're working on.
The DEA Los Angeles office sharing these images of their agents last week working side by side with Homeland Security to enforce immigration laws. ICE.
And who wins? Who wins by deporting 50-year-old Mexican ladies from this country? It's worse for our economy. They aren't causing any crimes. You're literally making life worse What the fuck? You're just making life worse for everyone in our community by doing this shit.
Also taking these pictures of recent arrests, including a Colombian national convicted of extortion, kidnapping, and trafficking, along with this foreign fugitive from El Salvador wanted for homicide.
Cars that are surveilling us?
A group in Riverside County posting this video publicly to Facebook on guard, calling on volunteers to watch for ICE and Border Patrol agents in Home Depot parking lots, saying we need support with ICE Border Patrol watch shifts. You will be trained.
The day before that incident, they did the Home Depot around the block. They did the same thing there, and it's just really sad.
So we've reached out to the DEA as well as the local ICE office for an interview, or as well as possible ride-alongs, and so far those requests have been denied. Reporting live.
Also, shout out to Barack Obama for putting so much money into ICE's pockets and really starting the mass deportation process in this country. Let's not forget that, I know all the Trumpers are like, oh my goodness, you're just covering this shit because it's Trump. No, it's all politicians do this. It's just that the Republicans tend to be more hateful and more racist, but they're all hateful and racist, right? So, shout out to Obama. Thank you for putting this wheel into motion for this to eventually happen. So, wonderful.
This is about the LA fires?
Yeah. I felt like there wasn't that much news in California recently. I felt like it's just more of the same. The fires are still burning and people are still getting deported. I didn't really see that much new stuff, but
Did you see about the plane crash?
I have that.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah.
What? Well, I didn't know what state it crashed in.
Washington.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, I mean, if you have it, we'll get into it.
Right, we'll get into that. Yeah.
Cool. So, this says Trump executed orders could divide controls of California water system, putting distribution at risk.
So Trump has been on his fucking bullshit saying that, the reason that we don't have enough water in California is because we're trying to save the endangered fish, the endangered smelt.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he wants to enact legislation that would fuck up our water systems even more than they already are, right? Obviously, the water systems we have here in California are not perfect, but Trump just dividing power in the, pretty much just dividing power and just slowing bureaucracy down to a halt in regards to how we politic our water in Southern California will lead to even more droughts. And not to mention, if he really gave a fuck, he would stop burning as much oil as possible and switch to green energy if he really cared about making sure that people had water. But he doesn't actually care. The only thing he cares about is looking like he is smart and correct to the people who aggrandize him. Being able to own the libtards by owning Gavin Newsom by saying that he's going to fix the water solution while doing nothing about global warming and doing nothing about making sure that we are a less wasteful community here in California.
Doesn't he deny global warming though?
Yeah.
Does he also deny? He calls the Great New Plan the Great New Scam. That's his.
Like I said, he doesn't do any of this shit because he cares about California. He does this shit because he cares about
his agenda.
Not even his agenda. He cares about winning applause. He cares about oh wow, I'm owning the libtards. Wow, look how stupid Gavin Newsom is. I just fixed his state. Meanwhile, he's making California worse. He doesn't live in California. He doesn't know how our water projects work. So why the fuck is he getting involved?
Yeah. No. Yeah, definitely something if you're not if you're not an expert exactly, and he's talking about stuff that he does not know. It's who are you to claim all this nonsense?
Exactly.
Yeah.
A smart person hires professionals and experts to do many jobs. An idiot thinks he does a million jobs.
Like he knows everything.
That he knows everything.
Don't you just hate people that think that they know everything?
Every restaurant owner ever.
Yeah.
Other than Chef Marco. Chef Marco's.
Yeah. So annoying.
But everyone else.
I hate know-it-alls. Yeah, I agree.
What's that food from Sevilla's name? Oh, no, not Sevilla. Well, yeah, them too. Eric and Ann, you guys suck.
Yeah. Los Hondo Belly too sucks.
Oh, fool, I don't own a restaurant, dog. What the fuck?
Just knows everything though. Sucks.
Well, yeah, I need to know my menu.
So, anyways.
This is super, super short. We're not going to get into it that deep. But if you're applying for CalFresh before Trump takes away all of assisted... you don't need to do the full thing. I was just going to talk about the headline because it's not that important. I mean, it is important, but like, there's not that much to talk about. If you lost your food to public safety shutoffs and all that, get your money back. But, before February 5th or 6th. That's it. Super, super short. I just saw it. I was like, I'll throw it in there. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
This is where it's going to get, we're going to have a lot of talking to do. We're going to get into nationwide stuff here.
Is this the positive news that we have?
This is the... No. Honestly, though, I mean, granted, I feel like the statewide and the local news hits more heavy because the national news, it sucks because it leads to what happens to the local and state news. But the local and state news tends to hit harder because it's like, wow, these are like people that I know and like families that I know that are being affected by this. Mm-hmm. But statewide and globally is more so kind of like the things that put the other news into motion.
So,
let me go back. So yeah, about 3,000 people have been deported since Trump has taken office. He got put into office. What was it? The 14th?
Yeah, like 2 weeks.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Literally.
2 weeks, and how many weeks do we have left? 52 times 4, and then he wants to do a third term too. So.
Can he do a third term? I thought that was it.
Well, legally, in a democracy, can he do a third term? No.
But is this a democracy now?
But he's a fascist, so he doesn't give a fuck. Also, we talked about it. We literally mentioned it last stream. One of the agencies that was being defunded, and one of the presidents of the people who lost their jobs was the president of the FAA, which is pretty much the president of airline safety. What happens a week after Elon Musk fires the president or the director of airline safety here in the United States? Wow! Helicopter crash and airplane crash into each other. No survivors. Thank you, Elon Musk, for killing 68 people 2 weeks into your stint with President Donald Trump. This is directly on you, by the way. Trump immediately hired another advisor after this as well. But...
I mean, yeah.
2 weeks!
He's also not qualified for having a position like this.
And when people just think that, Elon Musk just thinks it's a game. You could just kind of do whatever willy-nilly. Oh, we don't need a supervisor of airline safety. Well, then 67 people die in a fucking airplane crash because now we don't have any fucking, protocol for fucking airline safety. So,
That's we fucking did me personally.
Yeah, believe it or not.
Yeah. Deadliest disaster since 2001. That's saying something.
I didn't know about this until like literally an hour ago either.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, he, do you want to see a video? Because he did, so this crash happened like near DC. Airport. Here, let me put out a video. So at least 28 bodies, including all 3 soldiers who were on the helicopter, have been pulled out from the ICU ward. So it's confirmed, yeah.
No, right here, It was the same thing that I just said about Elon Musk firing the FAA director and then the airline crashing.
See, I don't know how to. I want to show you what Trump said. What his reason.
Is it this?
Yeah, his reason. This is what he thinks is the cause of this. So he didn't blame Elon Musk, by the way. Just a slow.
We do not know what led to this crash, but we have some very strong opinions and ideas, and I think we'll probably state those opinions now. But we'll find out how this disaster occurred, and we'll ensure that nothing like this ever happens again. The FAA and the NTSB and the U.S. military will be carrying out a systematic and comprehensive investigation. Our new Secretary of Transportation, Sean Duffy, his second day on the job when that happened. It's a rough one. I'm also immediately appointing an acting commissioner to the FAA, Christopher Rocheleau, a 22-year veteran of the agency, highly respected. Christopher, thank you very much. Appreciate it. We must have only the highest standards for those.
Why did we have to appoint a director? Because you didn't have one. Because you just fired the old one and left the fucking job completely vacant.
This is the actual what happened.
Been listening right now to WTTG. We're now taking over to show you this. This is video from the Kennedy Center camera, and you see right now to WTTG. We're now taking over to show you this. This is video from the Kennedy Center camera, and you see that explosion right there. That is the moment when this small plane apparently crashed into a helicopter. You see a fireball, and then, Marla, we see that plane head down towards the Potomac River.
Oh, what an image there. And according to our sister station in D.C., WTTG,
it's
that
crazy
in fact is confirmed that a small aircraft...
We have so much technology at our disposal and shit like this still happens.
Yeah, and the fact that Trump's... the cause of Trump letting Elon Musk take over this position caused this. It's just something that could be avoided.
That's Doug Zieghibe giving an update there.
Yeah, this is the actual report. Let's get into more details.
Is the chief executive of the Skating Club of Boston saying that they lost 6 members of that club in the tragedy in DC. Let's bring in Sean Bell, who's here with us, former military pilot, his expertise on what we think happened last night. Sean, great to have you with us, and good afternoon to you. So look, how did the passenger jet change its flight path last night?
Yeah, good afternoon, Kamali. I mean, first of all, our sympathy. 64 civilians, 3 military have perished in this, what looks like a very, very tragic accident. It's interesting that you look at the factors. The weather looks absolutely fine. There's no reason weather factors. It's happened in one of the most congested air control areas in the world, so there's massive control.
No reason. The weather was fine. There was literally no other reason but mismanagement. It's like there was no excuse.
Yeah.
You know? It's just...
And it's funny how it happened in Washington too. I think that
nobody moves without following a clear procedure, and it's all designed to stop these sort of accidents happening. So the real question is, why it happened and how it happened. What we do know is that the main runway here, it's not quite orientated properly, but that's the main northerly runway. So the American Airlines aircraft, as all of the others, would have been coming to land there and then taking off in this direction. Meanwhile, the Nighthawk would have been operating its way. Sorry, Black Hawk would have been operating its way down the Potomac here. Now, as the pilot of the Black Hawk, he'd have thought all of the civilian traffic is to the north of me, leaving or arriving. What happened just before this accident, though, was the American Airlines aircraft was on approach down here, was suddenly asked, could he take the shorter runway, which is the runway here? He said he could. So therefore, rather than going straight along that line, he diverted down to the south to get himself onto a lineup for that runway there. All of that, of course, would have put him on a direct collision course. Now, that sounds awful, but the whole purpose of procedural is that they may well have been crossing. In fact, the two dots on the radar would have absolutely superimposed themselves, but they should have been height deconflicted, because that way you can guarantee they'll never hit each other. Now, an airline will eventually go through 200 feet, the height at which the helicopter was, but it'll do it really close to the runway, and the helicopter should be nowhere near that. So the fact remains is that somehow this helicopter, because the collision happened at 400 feet at about 150, 160 miles an hour. The question is, what was the helicopter doing at that height? And frankly, it doesn't look very survivable, and that's why it doesn't surprise me that they've called off the search now.
Just before we move on, Sean, how unusual is it for a helicopter to go to that kind of height? I mean, is that kind of standard procedure? We heard from Sean Duffy, the Transport Secretary, that everything was standard up until the collision point.
Yeah, and I think what he was saying is that this helicopter wasn't on a special mission. It was a military helicopter. We're very close to the White House. There are all sorts of military flights that could be doing something unusual. Whenever I've been involved in controlled airspace in a military aircraft, the civilian authorities clear a corridor for you and you fly directly through it. This was following a helicopter route. The reason they're not under radar control is here they could probably be seen by the radar. There's a bridge here. You're flying low level. You can't be seen on radar.
Yeah, this is basically...
What?
No, it's basically like the main, the causes of it. And it shows an accident that could have been super avoidable is just lost out of casualties.
The disappointing part is that Trump fanatics will be like, this wasn't his fault. He's not the airline director, or this would have happened anyway, regardless. And, people will always, give Trump plausible deniability because he's not the one who's directly, managing the airline traffic. But when he makes decisions like firing certain people and deregulating, these are the consequences, and he should be held liable for the deaths that happened because of it.
This is, he puts last the EI, like, he blames Biden.
And Biden took over. He changed them back to lower than ever before. I put safety first. Obama, Biden, and the Democrats put policy first. And they put politics.
You put safety first by defunding the FAA, by defunding all these regulatory agencies. You put fucking safety first. Definitely, dude. Also, what a coward. You never see Trump ever take responsibility for anything bad that has ever happened in his administration. It's always the fault of the previous administration or the fault of some other country, but it's never him. Never his fault.
At a level that nobody's ever seen, because this was the lowest level. Their policy was horrible, and their politics was even worse. So as you know, last week, long before the crash, I signed an executive order restoring our highest standards for air traffic controllers and other important jobs throughout the country. So it was very interesting. About a week ago, almost upon entering office, I signed something last week that was an executive order, very powerful, on restoring the highest standards of air traffic controllers. And others, by the way. Then my administration will set the highest possible bar for aviation safety. We have to have our smartest people. It doesn't matter what they look like.
then quit. If we need the smartest people, then quit. Because you're like the dumbest person in America. And this is what happens when you hire dumb people to do important jobs.
How they speak, who they are, it matters. Intellect, talent, the word talent. You have to be talented, naturally talented geniuses. You can't have regular people doing that job. They won't be able to do it. But we'll restore faith in American air travel. I'll have more to say about that. I do want to point out that various articles that appeared prior to my entering office, and here's one. The FAA's diversity push includes focus on hiring people with severe intellectual and psychiatric disabilities.
Open it up again.
It's not that hard.
Why can't I need the opener.
It says FAA
and then you
says
dropped it
people
on
with
the floor.
severe disabilities are most underrepresented segment of the workforce, and they want them in, and they want them. They can be air traffic controllers. I don't think so. This was in January 14th, so that was a week before I entered office. They put a big push to put diversity into the FAA's program.
Oh,
And then another.
diversity was the issue. Diversity is why these two planes crashed, not because you fired the FAA director.
Another article, the Federal Aviation Administration, this was before I got to office recently, second term. The FAA is actively recruiting workers who suffer severe intellectual disabilities, psychiatric problems, and other mental and physical conditions under a diversity and inclusion hiring initiative spelled out on the agency's website.
Yes, we're hiring Down syndrome children to manage our airplane landing times here in Washington, D.C., and that's why these two planes crashed. Thank you, President Trump.
Their lives are
Can't make this shit
because of
up.
the stress.
You know, like, we cover a lot of dark news, but it's kind of funny, though, sometimes, you know, like...
It's just kind of ironic. That's all. It's pretty funny.
Like, you can't write this. Like, if I had to write a show about, like, a ridiculous government, like, I couldn't write it, like, nearly as good as the government we have. It's like...
Nah, you can't make it up at all. It's...
They have.
I thought you were going to speak, and then you didn't, and then...
Have to be in those positions. And their lives are actually shortened very substantially.
I have an excuse to be spacey.
I'm spacey. I'm a natural spacey guy, you know? So it's just like...
Chief of NASA.
Well,
You're gonna be, Trump's going to hire you to be the new FAA director.
Hey, if it's there's a raise, there's a bonus, you know? I'm down to take that responsibility.
It's coming into one target. And you need a very special talent and a very special genius to be able to do it. Targeted disabilities are those disabilities that the federal government, as a matter of policy, has identified for special emphasis in recruitment and hiring. The FAA's website states they include hearing, vision, missing extremities, partial paralysis, complete paralysis, epilepsy, severe intellectual disability, psychiatric disability, and dwarfism all qualify.
Dwarfism? What? So, like, short people can't, like, manage, like, airplane routes? Like, what the fuck? And thank you for being politically correct. I thought you were the anti-PC president. They're fucking midgets. Fucking dwarfism? Ooh, wow, Trump really trying not to offend all the dwarves out there, the little people out there.
For the position of a controller of airplanes pouring into our country, pouring into a little spot, a little dot on the map, a little runway. The initiative is part of the FAA's diversity and inclusion hiring plan. Think of that. The initiative is part of the FAA's diversity and inclusion hiring plan, which says diversity is...
You fired the director, you fired the president. We're not talking about like the dude who waves the two little wands on the, the little glow sticks. On the strip. We're talking about like you fired the director. And then all of a sudden a helicopter just does a special mission and crashes into a commercial plane. Like,
there has to be some accountability right here.
that wasn't a diversity hire that did that. That was someone at the top deciding, hey, we need this helicopter to fly out, and then oops, we forgot to check with the director because we don't have one no more. So now 67 people are dead.
Yeah, and that wasn't a short person doing it too.
Someone chatted.
That's me.
Damn, it's been slow, huh?
It's all good. I'm still enjoying this.
Integral to achieving FAA's mission of ensuring safe and efficient
I did,
travel. I don't
okay.
think so. I don't think so. I think it's just the opposite. The FAA website shows that the agency's guidance on diversity hiring were last updated on...
I'm tired of this shit. It's gonna be the same shit over.
Same shit.
Yeah, but it's because we have too many brown people. Brown people aren't as smart as white people, and that's why the airplanes clashed. Thank you, Donald Trump. The new FBI director, Kash Patel, he did something very, very funny where he talked about how the Biden administration was sending spies into our churches to seed division and disrupt the sacred institution that is a place of worship. Yeah, click the link.
You didn't make this up. No. I feel like you put this link.
This is a real thing.
I feel like you wrote this article. No. How ridiculous this sounds.
I mean, it might be true. They might have sent spies into the Catholic Church.
I thought it said Hassan Rubelli. By Hassan Rubelli.
Fox News writer. Credited Fox News writer.
No credit. Yeah, that's...
And then you can watch the video.
Did she... Why? Why did she... Like, what was the reason for it? What did blaming Biden for this have to, like, do?
This is like the Republican narrative that like God and Christianity are like under attack by the left or whatever.
Yeah. I see.
The reason I put this article in is because last week, if you guys didn't forget, ICE is allowed to raid churches.
Oh.
But this is an issue. So
this is the sacred trust, bro. Come on, dude.
Yeah. So nothing these people say means anything. Everything has a motive. Everything is being funded by something. These people don't give a fuck about the holy sanctimony of church like this fucking asshole Josh Hawley is gonna say. Because if you gave a fuck about the sacred testimony of church, you wouldn't allow ICE officers to break into church doors and fucking deport people.
Yeah, we're not gonna watch it. Isn't that coming?
It's not
on my phone. There wasn't an ad.
Industrial grade products.
Right,
So
2, 1.
Knowing you'll find the.
All right, let's go.
Let me ask you this. Is it appropriate
I hate this
for
dude.
the Federal Bureau of Investigation
And
to attempt to
is this the director?
spies
Or
or
is he
informants?
senator?
And he's it's like the Missouri senator.
Oh, I see.
Parishes? Is that appropriate?
I don't believe so.
Mr.
Who's
Patel,
this guy?
are you
Oh, this is
familiar
The new
guy.
FBI director.
the recent action
that
of
Trump
the
signed,
FBI
right?
in
Yeah.
this regard, including
Cash
this memo
Patel.
that I have right here,
Cash money.
making a list of Catholic churches and parishes that they regard as potentially suspect and directing the potential recruitment of informants and other spies, let's be honest, into those parishes?
I'm familiar with that memo.
Mr. Patel, would you commit to me that you will, if you are confirmed, that you will finally and officially withdraw this memo and make it clear that this is not only unacceptable, but that it is an absolute violation of the First Amendment that every American enjoys under the Constitution of the United States?
If I'm confirmed, Senator, yes.
Will you also commit to me that you will conduct an investigation and find out who wrote this memo, who spread this memo, the field offices involved in this memo? Because I can tell you, we've had your predecessor sit right where you're sitting, and he has repeatedly lied.
Like, it's so funny how
to this committee. He told us initially,
and there's not much else to watch with this shit. I mean, the point is proven already, but it's so funny how professional and serious these people will act while not believing in a single thing. You know? I think I'm more of a professional. After all the shit I told you in the beginning of the stream, at least I stand on my beliefs. At least I'm not some fucking empty suit. And I don't. People who stand for nothing, like, your life is meaningless. Like, I don't know, like Josh Hawley, like, you're gonna be known as just like a pathetic, hollow shell of a human being. Same with Trump, same with Biden, same with all these fucking people. How do they live with themselves?
They sleep pretty nicely, you know, in their rich, wealthy house.
I know they're all miserable though. You know, they're all like the most unhappy people, and you know it's true. Like,
potentially, yeah. No, I do think in a certain, I feel like yes, they are somewhat miserable the way they're addressing, the way they're what's it called? What's the word? The way they're the way they're handling themselves, in a way, you know.
I think that you know, as you become a politician or a CEO or whatever, over time you sell your morals and your soul out, and it turns you into just an empty person. I think that there's more to life than money. I'd rather be poor all my life and maintain my values than to become rich and, you know, not believe anything anymore. Obviously, you can have a good amount of money and live a good lifestyle and, you know, be you know, a moral person who stands on their beliefs and whatnot. But these people don't do that, you know. And this just goes to show how full of shit politicians are. From 1 week saying that we need to do ICE raids in churches to the second week saying, oh, well, we can't have FBI spies in the churches. So what is it? Are churches sacred or are they not sacred? I mean, you guys will just do anything that you're told because you guys are fucking bitches.
I mean, it's just their agenda, right? It's like, if it supports them, then they're obviously gonna not complain, look the other way. When it comes to like the ICE immigration, going through churches and stuff like that. But as soon as like they hear spies coming through, it's already ridiculous.
They're all slaves to power. Like, when you work in politics, you're always trying to go from House of Representatives to Senator to Vice President to President. So these people just suck as much dick as they possibly can. No one will ever be like, no, I'm not going to do that, Mr. President. They're always like, oh yeah, I'll do that for you. And over years and years and years of just bowing down to the most powerful person in front of you, you just become a shell of a human being. Politics that are based off of a power hierarchy with human beings will never work. We need to figure out a way to restructure politics where power doesn't rule everything, where we could have a true democracy and have technology take care of most of the things, to be honest, and just have human beings kind of do the building and the resource distribution and that kind of stuff. But the way our system is set up today is it will never work.
Yeah, no.
Also, I don't know if you've heard, but we have done a complete freeze on all government funds, and obviously Trump is trying to remove all forms of social safety nets in this country, whether whether that be food stamps, welfare, healthcare. And why is this? This is because people like Peter Thiel and Elon Musk want every single drop of our tax dollars to go into their pockets rather than back into our pockets because of science and technology and growth, or accelerationism, which is the correct word, which is what's happening right now in this country. I should have flipped it.
The food stamps.
Yeah, you can press the next one.
Yeah, this one?
No.
We all live in Peter Thiel's
minute 9.
From business to technology to politics, he's used his massive
9.
wealth to shape society to his liking. Using the philosophy of
No,
venture
I'm sorry,
capital
like
investing
9
to
minutes.
forcibly shape the world to his liking.
I said that
The world
stupid,
Peter
that's my
Thiel wants
bad.
to create is chilling and rooted in basic philosophy. Monopolization.
You could. No, that's my fault.
Let's look at the Dark Enlightenment movement, which Kurtz calls an obscure neo-fascist philosophy, and media researcher David Columbia calls the worship of corporate power to the extent that corporate power becomes the only power in the world.
Which is what is currently happening right now with Elon Musk and Peter Thiel and Jeff Bezos.
All the billionaires.
All the billionaires who are, worshiping Trump and making, Trump is making their fantasies come to reality by stripping our social safety nets, by taking away food stamps, by taking away welfare, to send even more money to make an even faster rocket ship for Elon Musk to leave Earth from. Human beings are more important than just creating technology for the sake of technology. But these people don't care because they don't care about human beings. They just care about being able to live to 1,000,000 years old while the rest of the world burns.
One of the movement's loudest voices is blogger Curtis Yarvin. Thiel has invested heavily in Yarvin startups, basically funding a big portion of the Dark Enlightenment movement. And it's obvious the movement mirrors Thiel's beliefs: complete corporate control. And two of his assets, long-term investments he's been nurturing for years, could help that goal. 2022 Senate candidates J.D. Vance and Blake Masters. Both of them worked for Thiel firms, and he's been bolstering their careers this whole time, supporting their projects along the way.
Who's the vice president now?
J.D. Vance.
Yeah.
Vance, I do gotta say, he does look like,
He's not. He's fucking ugly.
And Masters are long-term Thiel investments.
As an investor on
fuck you.
try to be contrarian, to go against the crowd, to identify opportunities that in places where people were not looking.
And they're just two of the far-right candidates Thiel invested in 2022. He's been donating big for years in order to further his political goal: a corporate-ruled utopia for billionaires. He's also investing in tech companies that will help his dark political project, like Rumble, a free speech-focused social network populated almost entirely by the far right.
I forgot that he owned Rumble.
I completely forgot too. What the heck? Did Peter Thiel own? What happened? Did you know? Exactly.
What?
If he owned, did he sell Rumble or
Pretty sure he still owns it.
Does he? No.
I forgot
Rumble was a
investing.
thing anyways.
What can his investment
Only
strategies
weirdos
teach
use
us
it.
about what's to come?
Yeah.
Well, the guy loves monopolies.
I have a single idée fixe that I'm completely obsessed with on the business side, which is that if you're starting a company, if you're the founder, entrepreneur starting a company, you always want to aim for monopoly, and you want to always avoid competition. And so, hence, competition is for losers. Something we'll be talking about today.
And he has a PowerPoint too?
There's something extra unsettling about someone who doesn't even try to hide it. He's just like,
Bro's
yeah.
full out, dude.
He's like, yeah, I am a billionaire,
And
and I do want to kill everyone, and I do want to get as much power as possible. And I'll tell you exactly how I'm going to do that. And you're not going to be able to do anything about it. Like, most of the times they're like Trump. They'll be like, oh, we hired our most powerful person to do this for the community or whatever the fuck. Peter Thiel's like, nah, we're just going to monopolize everything and just, like, suck every ounce of oil out of the Earth's, like, crust, you feel me? So.
Is ruled by a monopoly? One single all-powerful entity? Well, let's just say it's not a democracy.
There should also be some room for trying to start new countries.
And that country would have a complete lack of accountability for the ultra-rich.
Get rid of government regulation of technology. Allow us to build nuclear power, allow us to, go into space, have supersonic planes again, allow us to get rid of the FDA.
Peter Thiel doesn't
get
need
rid
to
of the
build an
FDA.
island to have his
Yes, that's
military
exactly
unity.
what we need.
He can build it right here in America. And he already is. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
So yeah, accelerationism is this traditionally billionaire concept of progress at all costs. I think this is an inherently flawed ideology because I care about human beings and human lives. These people don't. These people just want as much money and as much cool and fancy tech as they can make for themselves. And I think that we need to legislate the importance of human lives into our governments and our documents in order to make sure that we don't get our world ruled by people like Peter Thiel.
Yeah, call him out, dude. He's definitely
I don't know what you want me to do more than this.
No, I meant more as like a community.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, calling.
We'll get more people on the stream. People will tap in.
Call them out. Yeah.
Busted Luigi.
No.
Oh, oops, my bad.
Why do I feel like you're a little serious about that?
What? This show is parody. Everything I say is a parody, and it's this is a show. This isn't real life.
Okay. That. You're still looking at me like with those eyes, though.
What do you mean?
Oh, nothing. Anyways.
Oh, Trump said that we donated $50 million to Gaza in condoms.
Let's fucking go. Wait. Let's go $50 million, but why condoms, bro?
Well, because we donated $50 million to Gaza.
Oh.
But Trump was like, oh, it was all in condoms. In reality, only like 45,000 went to contraception, which, we do need condoms in war-torn countries. We don't want to have a bunch of people get pregnant in a country that's being genocided. There's already enough people dying there. We don't need even more people dying there.
Yeah, no. But why though?
Because
he just wanted to.
Because he hates anytime any other person other than himself gets help for anything.
Yeah.
If a brown person wins, Trump has to make sure that he shits on it.
Oh yeah, that's his usual behavior.
Yeah.
That's just
standard.
It's very odd, when you're saying it like out loud. Oh yeah, he donated $50 million to condoms. It's just an odd thing to say out loud and just realize how stupid it is. But it could be.
That's our president.
It could be used in other resources in Gaza.
Literally any other resource.
Food, medicine, a lot of things could probably be helped.
Just Just the implant. Save on condoms.
Yeah.
I won't need 50 million if you just get one implant, you know. Use it once, it stays there.
That's just... I don't know why, I'm just imagining it and just like, how many reps does that take for 50 million condoms to show up?
All at once. And just open the door and they all just slide out. The people have their buckets, they're just waiting for like any ounce of food. And then the truck opens its whole fucking condoms.
It's so messed up, bro. Like, you could have just been like food, and that would have honestly helped.
Well, then he would have looked evil if he said that.
Yeah, no. Obviously, he's a nice guy, and we're obviously, he's such a nice guy that he's like, you know what, like, let's just, I don't want people to get STDs. That's a priority here. You know, people should enjoy having sex, but safe sex.
There's an issue with donating 50 million condoms to Gaza, but if we donate $50 million of condoms to Israel, Trump will be like, oh yeah, it was necessary to support our allies.
That's just... Yeah. Anyways.
Trump decided to put a 25% tariff on both Canada and Mexico for the time being. We'll see how long that lasts, but making international trade as difficult and as slow as possible is the worst thing you could do for your economy and the global economy. The easier we make trade, the more GDP that we are able to access for the United States and for the global community. So for a genius business person that Donald Trump claims to be, him continuing to put tariffs on every other foreign country is going to destroy the United States and weaken the entire global economy for no reason.
And
just for like a year or two of pettiness and eating the libtards.
And just for us paying the consequences of life getting just even more expensive. Like, it already isn't, you know? It already is very cheap to live in California.
Also, shout out to Petro, the Colombian president.
Petro?
Yeah, he's cool, socialist president in Colombia.
Yeah, I have him on Discord.
All my homies, we hate Alvaro Uribe, fuck Uribe. That fool can die. Petro for life. He was the prior president. He was the right wing kind of fascist president.
And can you describe Petro's politics to the viewers that never?
He's like a Bernie Sanders ideologically.
Let's go. Okay.
Uribe is like a
just a fascist.
Not like, yeah. I mean like not like pretty like modern day Latino like right wing politician, which is still
like Marco Rubio?
No, I'm talking about like Latin America.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like Pinochet.
Oh, okay.
But with less killing, but that's because it's not the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
But if Uribe was in the 70s and 80s, he'd be like a Pinochet type.
Yeah.
So in response, Petro said that he would not accept Colombians being deported back to Colombia to defy Trump's rule, and Trump, like the mature adult that he is, decided to put a crazy tax on Colombia, and unfortunately he had to bend the knee. Unfortunately, if you're a smaller country that receives a lot of goods from America, to have America put a huge embargo or tariff on you is crippling. Just look at Cuba and the state of their economy. So
a lot of countries that have been in support.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate, but eventually he's not going to be able to tax absolutely everyone. The global community will get fed up at one point.
Yeah.
And then the last one, And you can
Mute video.
you can mute the video.
We don't want to hear it.
The music's really like dramatic and annoying. It's just like
I kind of like the music now.
you could start you could start listening to it. But
Alright, dude. Stubborn, blinking.
Vladimir Putin accused the Biden administration of trying to assassinate him.
Oh,
Tucker Carlson broke the news, by the way. Trusted truth teller Tucker Carlson.
he's the man for the people. He's the man of the people, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's his nickname.
White people. The man who said the 16 words live on national television.
Dude, it's so dramatic. So dramatic. Oh god. It's all in caps too. Come on, the music is the best thing. you gotta agree.
I know. I also knew it would elicit a reaction from you, which is why I said which is why I said muted, but I knew we're gonna listen to a little bit of it just because it's so fucking goofy.
See, look, like no music. It's like kind of a boring video.
Oh yeah, because it is a slideshow, so the music does fill in the space.
Dude, that slide, like the way it popped up, bro, that's insane. Whoever made this slideshow, got like respect.
Ooh, this is like the Hindu Pakistani times. This fire.
This guy knows what he's doing, bro. At least in slideshows, top guy.
Ooh, they got like 7 million subscribers.
Actually, during an interview, journalist Matthew agreed with Carlson unsubstantiated claims.
Fuck Matt Taibbi.
As per TBB, he saw no strategic values in permitting European to carry out long-range strikes. Interesting. To be honest, I was kind of dozing off with the music for like the first 20 seconds, so yeah, it's yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you. Why would I do that to myself?
To lose a couple brain cells.
Fool, I already lost enough this week. I don't need to lose anymore. I'd probably lose them at double the rate watching this than...
I mean, we have to... Don't you know we have to learn about the right-wing media, so we gotta, like, hear what they say. So we definitely lose.
I mean, like, the media, yes, but this is just, like, Putin just, like, spitting out war propaganda. Like, I don't need to, like, watch, like Kim Jong-un's January 30th, 2025 speech to North Korean citizens to understand what's going on.
This is what we take one for the team, and we inform our community, you know, and we listen to all the brain rot things that they gotta say. And, you know, we might lose some cells, but, you know.
Some?
I was being conservative here. We might lose some cells, but, you know, at the end of the day, you know, we're guiding everyone and showing what the right has to say, you know.
Yeah.
At the end.
But there's a reason that I'm showing this too, and I'll talk about it.
I thought it was about the music, to be honest. I swear I thought.
That low-key, that is why I use this clip.
And it's on loop too. It's like.
Look how much taller Trump is.
probably wearing some of those
Probably he is.
that inflates the like the 4 or 5 inches that you put inside your shoe.
Yeah, he does.
Does he?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Especially
He literally wears like shoes with like an insert inside. That's why his posture's all fucked up. Like you can look it up. Like he legit does that. I'm surprised he didn't know that.
I don't know how tall he is.
Like he's already kind of tall, but like
Is he?
I think he's like 6 foot like normally.
Okay.
But then he wears the inserts too, so he
To
like
make
walks
him-
around at like 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah. Okay. That's so insecure. to make himself look even more powerful.
As the president too. Also, Ron DeSantis does this too with his little boots. I don't know what it is with Republicans and needing to be taller, but
Yeah.
but I think this is gonna be we're gonna see Republicans push this narrative of the Democrats being warmongers and wanting to do assassination attempts and being enemies to our own country in order to make this a one-party state by the time that Trump enters his next election, if there even is an election. I think that these are all calculated releases and calculated strategies by the Republican Party to be able to excuse a elimination of the two-party system in our country by believing, fascist Vladimir Putin when he says, hey, Joe Biden tried to assassinate me when you invaded another country that was an American ally. Like, but there's not much more to say than that, to be honest. We're going to see more of this develop as time goes on, and we'll continue to cover it, the dissolution of our supposed democracy, of our supposed two-party system. I think that the Republicans eventually are going to control everything in this country.
Yeah, we'll definitely be on top of it. On the day-to-day. Streaming day-to-day, every day, Monday through Sunday, from 4 to 6 p.m. Don't quote me on that, but yeah.
It's a lot.
There's a lot.
Like, even if our religion is successful, 2 times a week I feel like is cool.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, 2 or 3. Kind of depends on the news week.
Depends on the emergency news that we had to report.
Yeah. An emergency, though, like...
I definitely want to, like, be more on top of it, like, if it's an emergency, just, like...
Once I would, like... If I have, like, freedom like that, and I could just, like, stream on Twitch just like a normal stream, not like the show...
Yeah.
Like, I'll talk about an individual thing.
Yeah.
But the show is the show. The show is a well-presented, accessible thing for people that want to watch that might not usually be into this sort of stuff. For people who really just want to know and they're already into this stuff, like, you can hop on, like, the stream.
That's true.
And that's it.
Did you hear about the China's AI?
Completely fucking Nvidia's stocks and whatnot.
Our stock market was pretty bad. It was good to see, But I do have a video in mind.
Yeah, go for it.
See about it.
I got a text from Scott today. He's like, "Hey, can you send me $700?" I was like, "Fuck." but then, and I was like, dude, like, because I invested a lot of money into XDC.
Can you just be a little like
XDC? It's
yeah.
It's actually pretty cool, and it, funny enough, aligns with my values. It's it is a blockchain network which allows for it just tracks all money being spent. So I'm pretty sure that if a government implements it into their system, they would be able to track where all government funds go, which is a good thing if good people are in charge of the government. If shitty people are in charge of the government, it doesn't matter, obviously. But in an ideal world, we do track all of our taxes that are spent so that we as tax-paying citizens know exactly where our money goes.
Yeah. So
the government wants to work with them a lot. There's a lot of like, I heard good things about it.
Yeah. No, so basically what's going on with the AI wars, that's what I'm going to call it.
AI wars?
AI wars, yeah, is basically ChatGPT is the main American AI that's supposedly, it's been getting more expensive to get a membership. So nowadays, to get the full tools and gadgets of AI, it's $200. So what China
yearly or monthly?
Monthly. $200. So what China did is they said, "Fuck it, they're not gonna pay it."
Yeah, we'll make our own. Just give us some time.
And it's shown to be comparatively the same as ChatGPT, which you pay $200 monthly.
There goes.
And in certain areas, it's even better than ChatGPT.
What areas would you say?
In math and a lot of coding questions, it's been reported to say it's better. The thing about that, these the way they rate these, the math, especially the math portion, a lot of so the people that rate this is they show that the actual rates between them. But the thing is that ChatGPT funds the people that rates these average benchmark math tests that they do. So how, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
So now a lot of things is saying that ChatGPT claims that the open DeepSeek is stealing information from their AI, which in theory, yes, but it's not what ChatGPT was also like a year or two when this started. A lot of Microsoft said that they also reported that ChatGPT stole a lot of information from them. Also, Twitter too. So you see how hypocritical this is. It's like they're all stealing information.
Yeah.
But this is kind of the summary of it.
Imagine if it was government funded and they all got to share each other's information and make the best product possible without having to compete against one another.
Yeah. So.
But that's like communism. Oh, no, that's socialism.
World when they.
Yeah. So this
socialism doesn't inspire creativity.
No, definitely not.
Walked right over OpenAI's code by releasing the open source R1 model. Not only does it beat their $200 O1 reasoning model, but it also beats Claude Sonnet and Gemini. It wins on key benchmarks, but more importantly, it passes my vibe test, along with many others on the internet, as long as you don't ask it what happened on April 15th, 1989. R1 even wins at math, which is crazy considering OpenAI had the answers in advance. Over the last few days, normies have been learning about R1, and it went viral to become the #1 app in America. This is a big problem for big tech, because in order for the grift to keep on grifting, artificial intelligence needs to be hard and take thousands of GPUs to pull off. But DeepSeek R1 cost less than $10 million and was actually the side project of a hedge fund where their only goal is to create long-term social value. Wall Street is terrified, and Nvidia stock is in for a bloodbath today. Nvidia has been the primary beneficiary of the AI boom, but the whole bubble just got one-shotted by a brutal reality check. In today's video, we'll find out how DeepSeek just changed the course of history. It is January 27th, 2025, and you're watching The Code Report. Big tech is literally shaking right now, as Sam Altman coped with a dramatic tweet. A revolution can neither be made nor stopped. The only thing that can be done is for one of several of its children to give it direction by dint of victories. I'm not sure if that's Napoleon Dynamite or Napoleon Bonaparte, but the funny thing is he damn near got ratioed by someone with an anime profile picture that said, "It's not that deep, bro, just release a better model." In addition, to try to remain competitive with DeepSeek, OpenAI is also offering its O1 mini model to free users. But that's not all. They also released a new thing called Operator, which gives AI access to a browser and allows it to click on buttons and fill out forms on.
The gist of it is that DeepSeek has better tools than ChatGPT and is completely free, and it only costs a fraction of what ChatGPT claims that it needs to perform at the highest efficiency. But here, let me just...
HunYuan 3D, which can generate 3D meshes and textures, and that's huge for people like me who have spent years on GIF to the world. And because of that, the stock
market is panicking and just wiped out nearly $1 trillion in value, with Nvidia being the biggest loser, followed by other chip companies like Taiwan Semiconductor and Broadcom. You see, Nvidia's had basically a monopoly on AI training for the last decade, because they have better Linux drivers than AMD, and all the machine learning algorithms are optimized for libraries like CUDA, which is proprietary and can only run on Nvidia GPUs. And they have the infrastructure to connect all these GPUs together at scale. As AI models get bigger and more popular, so do the profits of Nvidia, but someone got DeepSeek running on a few Apple M2 Ultras, and that's the 680 billion parameter top-of-the-line model. And that's terrifying if you're a tech investor pouring billions of dollars into AI, because if the best state-of-the-art model can operate on relatively cheap consumer hardware, and it's free and open source and developed in China, how are we going to make any other?
And it's probably way better for the environment too.
No, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so now you could use the AI without having to worry about just like destroying the planet every time you search something.
You could always use AI by not destroying the planet. It's just like you said, like we've said before, like the corporations want to make a narrative that it's impossible without all these kind of resources that only they have to like invest.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's this was like $10 million, which in the like macro perspective is not even a lot of money. And the people that made it was their side job. It was their side hustle project.
Side hustle. It's a sick side hustle, bro.
It wasn't even like something they're like
expecting anything out
of it. Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
So it just it's more. I think this more affected the stocks of the technology. So for anyone that has technology stocks, shows how much as soon as reality hits, it just goes back. And, it's just a nice lesson to show people that not everything seems like, not the price. Just because you have expensive ass price doesn't mean it's worth it. It's still
That's cool. That makes me really happy that AI isn't gonna just like completely just lead to global warming and destruction.
No,
that it can be used without having massive energy costs.
Yeah, and the fact that it's like it's always been it's been a tool, and it's gonna stay as a tool rather than a lot of. The thing about it is like a lot of greedy corporations make it like want to keep that bubble for themselves. So now a lot of other companies from China have been produced. Like Alibaba has their own AI that has competed equally as ChatGPT as DeepSeek, but at the fraction of the cost. So it shows like now that
it almost looks like putting profits over product quality doesn't lead to the best outcomes for the product that you get. Yeah. Crazy if you think about it,
I hope you didn't have any Nvidia stocks.
No. Not anymore.
Yeah.
I did, but those got sold a long time ago. So I made cool money off of it too when it was going up.
You sold high,
Yep.
You sold high. Yeah, I think that was the one thing I did want to mention that you didn't mention at all. Just an interesting view of more corporate greediness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other inputs?
I think it's time for racquetball.
You think it's time for racquetball?
I think it's time for racquetball.
I think so too.
With the proper racquetball rules.
I don't even know them.
Oh, you're finna learn them.
That's crazy.
You better be ready to run.
Do you think so?
It's more of a fast pace, but it's not like impossible. But the game goes by faster. It's a lot faster.
Okay, I'm down.
Because there's no bounce. There's no bounce after the back wall.
Yeah.
But only if it bounces beforehand.
Yeah.
If you hit the back wall and then it doesn't bounce and it hits the back wall, you could let it bounce on that.
Yeah.
So it's a lot easier to hit because we were serving, we're smashing it, and we just couldn't hit that shit. It was impossible. But now it makes sense. I was like, oh, like.
I see.
Yeah, one bounce total.
I see. Yeah. Anyways, are we gonna also be here next week?
Obviously,
same time, right?
after all this shit that I went through this week, we still fucking went on Notion. It wasn't a perfect stream and whatnot, but we showed up.
It was a stream.
It was a stream. I feel like it went pretty well, honestly. There's certain things which I should have paid more attention to detail with. The internet was nice. I feel like we filled up parts of our stream nicely with conversation so that it didn't get too dull.
Mm-hmm.
Certain parts I feel like could have been cut down a little bit. But I feel like we're getting better at this. I feel like we're learning how to like we're flowing to the next topic without even like scrolling down and whatnot, which I like, you know.
Yeah. So I think eventually we're just gonna be like super good at this, where it's just like it's a habit, you know.
Now I just need to learn how to market it.
Market?
Yeah, have other people watch.
That's easy for
No one chatted. It looks like there's 2 chats, no?
Yeah, someone chatted, but I didn't want to tell you.
Why not?
No, it was just Hannah. She said, "Are you a wine cellar infomercial?"
No, we just choose a
Because
bottle.
in the stream, the wine bottle is perfectly like right next to the camera, and the lighting is just hitting it just right, where it's like it seems.
Can you even see the label? Because it looks blown out.
You can see it. You can see the label.
I don't know. I just like sharing like what we're enjoying.
Yeah, showing that.
Like it's a serious stream, but we want to include other things in it too.
I think eventually we're gonna have more ideas and make it, like you said, the flow a little better. But that's, I think, a week by week improvement.
I think a nice bottle of wine a week is a cool little.
You know the saying, a nice bottle of wine gets the world going. Is that what they say? Right?
That's what Alejandro said. That's a saying now.
That's
first time it's ever been said, but yeah, it's a saying now.
I feel like
it's on the internet too.
I feel like any smart scholar would say that, you know. Possibly.
Not any smart scholar. Just not yet. Just one. Just one that I know. But
yeah. But yeah, any other last remarks you want to brush on, or is it?
Not really. I mean, and I know this goes without saying, but I forgot to briefly mention this, but people who are not doing well economically and have serious medical issues like diabetes or anything that requires a medication for you to stay alive, with all of the defunding of medication that is happening in this country, do your research and figure out alternatives to go if they ever make your medications too expensive, like mine. I'm planning to leave this country because if they make this too expensive for me to buy, I die. So it's just, people need to understand the severity of what is going on and know the potential outcomes. I don't mean to be an alarmist, but I need people to understand what happens if things don't change. Yeah, that's it really. I'll be posting more to my Instagram and whatnot. I'll just be like talking shit. Not talking shit, but just like saying my opinion on Instagram, just like on stories and like live and stuff like that.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Or you'll see it on my Instagram. Why would I tell you? I just did what? Like what?
It was a figure of speech. It wasn't like an actual like direct. It's more like, yeah, tell me about it. You post a lie, you know.
That's why I did an announcement, because I'm gonna start posting more.
It was more of a joke. You know. Hopefully, your brain process.
No, I just didn't.
No, but at the end of the day,
that was a heater.
Fucking paying for medicine, who does that? You know, it should be free, especially if it's medicine that's literally like keeping you alive.
But we don't value human lives in this country. We value profits and making money. Acceleration.
How much money do you think that medicine costs? Like 10 cents, 5 cents? Like per pill, like 2 cents per pill or something like that.
Like how much I would, like if I didn't get it for free, how much I'd have to pay?
How much does the corporations, how much do they pay per like pill, you know? I don't think it's gonna say, but it's like I know it's like it has to be like a couple cents. I don't think it's like that how much it's like they're charging now. Luckily, you like have insurance, but I don't think what they're charging is exactly how much.
Oh no, I mean it never is.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. It's like it should always either be completely free or at least paid the same price as what they got it for. You know,
In between $1 and $3 approximately.
Yeah, so it's not like
for one pill.
Yeah,
But I mean, I pay taxes, so it shouldn't fucking matter. It's where my tax dollars should be going.
Those are the pills that gets my homie alive, you know?
Keeps, not gets me alive.
Keeps, alright.
If I went into a coma, this ain't doing shit.
Yeah, so... Anyway.
I wonder what happens. Like, if I go into a coma, would they have to, like, feed this to me? Like, how does that work? Like...
I don't know. I'm a doctor. I would imagine that you're just, you know, I'm sorry to say, but...
Nah, like, they can pump this into your bloodstream. They can melt it and, like, put it in your bloodstream, like...
Yeah, so...
That's interesting. I've never thought about that. Like, people who are on meds, but they go into a coma, like, do they keep, like, having to feed them their meds just through, like, their veins?
Yeah, that's true. Not to be dark, but, you know... How long will you be in coma?
Hopefully not that long. Hopefully never, but, like...
I mean, okay, can I ask a sincere question? Like, if you had a choice to be in a coma, how long would you be like, okay, this is it, enough, you know? Like
a minute.
No.
Like what?
Like okay, like I'm just saying, like what if you're in a coma and I'm just like a homie that you put like you're like what's the people called that you're like you take care, like you take decisions. You're the...
Oh, well... A coma isn't a vegetative state, though. Because you can always wake up from a coma, that's the thing.
But that's the thing, it just depends how long you're going to take. All I'm asking is, like, how long, how many days will you be like, alright, this is hella...
No, you're confusing, like... pulling the plug on someone who's become a vegetable and pulling the plug on someone with a coma. Because you could be in a coma for 20, 30 years. I'm pretty sure, I'm not a doctor, but there's always a chance that you'll wake up. But if you're a vegetable, like the doctors will be like, yeah, this person's never coming back from this, and then they'll unplug you.
Yeah. I mean... I'll give myself.
Do you want me to unplug you or keep you plugged in?
No, the bills that's gonna charge up. I'm a golden ticket for all the hospitals, you know. Like especially like if I'm in a coma, you gotta unplug me. You know, it's time to go.
Damn, comas are just a big pharma scam.
Yeah, dude, it's a golden ticket, bro. Like, you know how much my medical bill if I wake up? How much that's gonna be?
Yeah, just kill me. Honestly, I'm gonna have to repay like $1 billion worth of electricity.
I'm gonna be in financial ruins, dude. So you know, I don't got much right now, so you know, it doesn't really like. It's not much of a difference.
That's true.
But yeah. Anyways, I think I just want to say, good stream. It was good. Obviously, there's a lot of things we can improve on, but we'll get better as weeks continue. That's all I gotta say. But anyway, last words.
I think you nailed it. We'll be on next week. Thank you for tapping in. If you tapped in, and
if you tapped in, thank you very much. You guys are very sexy. But if you didn't tap in, what are you guys doing? Come on, tap in.
For real.
Yeah. So
we need 7 billion viewers concurrent.
You know what we need? We need like an outro, like something to say, something silly to say. Because we're always in like these dark moments. Like we just need something silly.
Something silly. We just want like some sick music.
Oh my god!
I think it'd be. I think like having intervals with like even just like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
But of like whatever hits like your top 10 like songs for the week or whatever the fuck, like whatever's like newest in your rotation.
Summertime Sadness by Lana Del Rey. That should be the song.
I mean, if that's what you feel like, you know, like we'll plug that in somewhere. I mean, you said no more dark shit, but then you want to play Summertime Sadness. So.
Yeah, but like the EDM.
Oh, the EDM mix. Alright, that's right.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think we have to balance. We're gonna be better at balancing the dark and maybe in the way we present stuff. You know, that'll probably be. I don't know what kind of ideas we would have in presenting. The dark stuff.
It'll flow nicer.
Yeah, being more positive, you know, because, you know, we talk about this stuff and, like, the reality of it, and it's just so, like, at the end of this stream, I'm just like, kind of, like, drained out with all the sorrow and, like, things that's going on in life.
Yeah, this drained you or what?
Yeah, a couple of hours of this shit, yeah, definitely. I think it'll drain anyone. Seeing all, like, the negativity of the news, that's why I don't know, like, I'm very much of, like, I want to know what's going on. Mm-hmm. I don't, like, try to avoid it, because I think that knowing what's going on and...
So many people avoid it, though.
Exactly.
You know.
Because, like, to be honest, you gotta understand that, like, it's draining, you know? It's meant, like, it's something that's draining. A lot of people... There's a lot of people that can't cope with that. So, you know, if we can make it more digestible...
If it drains you, it should.
It should, you know, but it should be our job to, like, also, like...
But if it drains you, go do something about it.
Yeah. I don't know. To me, I would think that it seems... To an average person, it seems very scary to do it by yourself, you know. And I think we need to be more out in the pointing out communities that a lot of people can go to, so like that can help out. Because there's a lot of great programs out there that really help in any different type of issues politically, and, you know, but. Yeah, like individually, I think anyone, even like you, would be a little scared of like starting, you know, because it's just so, you know, it seems like that's such a big issue that you don't know how to even start.
And that's why it took me so long to really start streaming.
Exactly. So, you know, you gotta understand the other, like, perspective of other people too.
Yeah.
You know, it's like even the great Alessandro Rubelli.
There's nothing great about me. I'm a very flawed person.
Alright, sorry, the anti-great Alessandro Rubelli. I got you. See, I listened and
Thank you for listening and pivoting. I appreciate it.
I listened and pivoted. But even you, like, understand how hard this is. And, you know, being consistent is our next goal, though. So, anyways, yeah. I think that's it. On to the next one.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. I'll see y'all next week. Thank you for showing up and listening to the show. I hope y'all enjoyed it.
Don't worry. Next week, Alessandro will have an intro and outro saying.
Next week we do the show naked, 100% nude. Nah, just kidding. Well, once I have my own site, but not on Twitch. Look how nice it looks on the fucking here, but it looks so dark on.
It looks super nice here.
It looks so good on here, but on YouTube it looks all saturated.